Welcome to the Side Action Podcast, the sports gambling show that covers everything in the world of sports betting from A through Z. We'll cover the four major sports, as well as anything and everything in between worth some action, and will increase the size of your bankroll. And here we go.
All right, looks like we're live, Coop. Welcome to the Side Action episode. What are we on, man? I didn't put that down there. Episode, I think, 13 of season 6, right? Or episode 12?
No, episode 12.
Okay. My name is Jim Wegs, a.k.a. Wegs. You can follow me at Wegs Pool on Twitter and on Instagram.
And I'm Coop, a.k.a. Dalton, if you will. You can follow me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on Twitter at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Podcast. Back together finally again in the Edgewater Studios.
Missed you, sir.
Right at rush hour, too. I mean, it's kind of dark. And, don't fool yourself. It's not 8 o'clock. It is 4:30.
It seems like
and it's kind of depressing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well...
winter solstice is coming, though, so get
excited. Yeah, exactly. Then it's the shortest day of the year, right? That's what everybody looks forward to. We're going to Belgium. Obviously just got back Monday afternoon. It actually gets darker even sooner there.
Really?
Shorter days. Yeah, it's about 5 degrees latitude further north. So it must be great in the summertime. You get some really long days, but it was about 3:30-ish when it was getting dark out.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's pitch black by about 7, 6, 7.
So you're an early riser then?
Yeah, not me. Not on this trip. But it was, it was a really good time. We flew direct, which is recommended.
Okay.
Went right to Brussels. The train system's incredible. And we got to Leuven, which is where my daughter's going to school. And 20 minutes on the train, no problem. We took trains everywhere. Went to Bruges, we went to Ghent, we went to Brussels.
Nice.
You don't need a car, because we were discussing bring your scooter to Vegas. But there were scooters there and tons of bikes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I had a great time. Had a bunch of cocktails. Got 14,000 steps a day in. So
nice. How was the food?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they had everything. It's not like you just eat Belgian food, right?
Gotcha. I didn't know if you're strictly going mom and pop or how if we're going the full Belgian experience. Or
so what are you expecting? You get frites,
Okay.
French fries, misnomer. Frites.
Papa's frites.
They were invented in Belgium.
For Spanish ones.
Yeah. Frites, yes.
Okay, really? I did not know that.
Yes.
They were invented there.
Yes, that's the first frite was made in Belgium.
Huh.
And then the waffle, the Belgian waffle. You've had
right.
that. Delicious. They've got a bunch of little stands you can get on the way to the train. It's like grabbing a bagel or something. You just grab it.
Okay.
Give it this little
like street food kind
street
of.
food.
Is it they go by the euro?
They do go by the euro.
Is that pretty?
107, 108. Like so, $1.07 to €1. So you lose a little bit, I guess. But it used to be a lot. Euro was a lot stronger at one time. So it used to be like $1.40 or something.
Oh wow.
So at one time. So
that's not terrible.
No, it was pretty close. I got back and all the adjustments hit the bank account. It was like 86 cents, 45 cents. It's like
that's crazy.
Whatever the exchange rate. Maybe there's some sort of whatever arbitrage in there. And then they're known for the mussels. I don't know if you ever have steamed mussels. There's a place in Andersonville that has it too. Hop Leaf. So it's like just kind of like this big bowl of mussels that they've steamed in like white wine sauce, and they're quite delicious.
Really?
Yeah. So
is it kind of like the oyster, or is it completely different from the oyster?
A little different. I mean, you can get. I mean, I'm more partial to the raw oyster, but if you get oyster Rockefeller, that's like prepared in and of itself. This is like all kind of in its own juices, so to speak, with some onions and like I said, the white wine sauce. It was good. It was good stuff. And then they had all sorts of. We did high tea in each of those towns. There's a lot of like castle-looking places and things like that. I went with my mom and obviously my daughter, so it was like I was kind of subject to the ladies, whatever they wanted to do. I was just kind of the muscle of the operation.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was very dark and rainy most of the time. About the same weather as we have beautiful weather in Chicago the last couple of days, but
surprising.
45 rainy was kind of the norm.
Par, if you will.
Yeah, gotcha. and in the end, a lot of cobbled streets and
nice.
It was beautiful.
Horses and.
In Bruges, they did have the horse-drawn carriages.
Okay.
And I tell you, they were not pausing for pedestrians. There were tons of pedestrians. They would just come flying through, ring the little bell, and
nice,
coming through and making turns, and shitting on the street, and
nice.
You have to avoid that.
Okay.
But no, Bruges is a very popular tourist location. Like if you talk about Belgium, you've been to Bruges, that's the spot, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Most people, they fly into Brussels, but like Bruges is the spot. It was cool. It just was a little touristy for me. I kind of liked Ghent, and Brussels where we went was pretty cool. I got a couple nice cocktails everywhere we went. And
do you feel more cultured now?
So cultured. Oh my gosh. I was in Europe.
Gotcha. Well, just remember us little people whenever you make it big time.
Well, we'll tell you one thing though. everybody there, at least, especially the shopkeepers and stuff, they speak like 5 languages, man.
Oh yeah.
They speak everything. They speak mostly Dutch there. They say Flemish, but Flemish is actually it's like a dialect of Dutch. It's like a different regional dialect.
And that's something you get congested with?
I don't have a Flemish in my throat before you showed up. But no, it's Flemish. But the Flemish region, the Flems. But but a lot of people, so like Brussels, they speak French primarily. And then all the shopkeepers start talking to you like Spanish. You speak Spanish? Like hablo español? I'm like, sí, pero en inglés, whatever.
But it's the Spain Spanish, not the
Castellano.
It's a different. It's a different Spanish.
I would have no idea what they're speaking.
Oh, I'm just you're not cultured, is what you're saying.
I'm moderately cultured.
Okay, moderately.
I was there for 4 or 5 days. What do you want me to do?
Well, we as a podcast, I feel, put together,
yes.
we can check the cultured box. So.
Exactly.
Well, it's good. How's the jet lag been? That's probably.
I'm a little tired, but you know me. I had a conference all day Tuesday. Was out till 11:30 at night. I had a date last night till 10:30, and doing the podcast today. I'm driving to Kansas City tomorrow. We'll talk about that later, but. Driving to Kansas City for the weekend for a birthday party thing.
Man.
Can't stop, won't stop. That's why I'm going to miss the Friendsgiving, which is sad. And then
I got a nice ham coming.
You got a ham?
Yeah, honey baked ham.
Ooh, a little honey baked. Yeah. I like it. If for some reason I get in early, which I can't imagine partying on Saturday, jumping in for 7.5 hours and rolling up to Steph's at like 4. It'll probably be like 6, so I don't know if you guys will still be there. But we'll see. But, I'm basically going to rest on Thanksgiving weekend. That's what I tell myself.
Okay.
So, what about you, man? What was the weekend? You held on the podcast last week?
Yeah, it was a good time. Art jumped in there kind of towards the end.
I saw there's a little comment there.
Yeah, it was good. Vegas was good. We kind of just recapped that. But
sure.
It's been pretty chill last couple days. I've been trying to get Luke on. I know he won't join us.
Luke refuses to actually put a comment again.
No, he won't even join us. Even worse.
He didn't even join last week?
No. We're supposed to go golfing at some point this week, too. So I might put him on the hot seat. I don't know. We'll find out. But no, it's been pretty chill. We had indoor Hamlin, and I'm trying to think what we did Saturday. Tuesday night we did some bowling. Yeah. So you weren't here last week. We won the first quarter of the league. So
nice.
I think it's 32 weeks. I think it's like
okay.
$500 a team, like for 8 weeks. So
nice.
A little bit of money there, and then we came out the first week and went 7-0 for the first quarter.
Damn,
of the second. Yeah, so came out strong.
Nice.
And then I'm trying to think. It's been pretty chill though. I was waiting for all your Belgianness on this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I should have brought you some goblets.
Just chocolate, something.
Yeah, well, I have some chocolate for one of the ladies that I'm dating. So if they don't claim it next week, it's all you. But
okay, things go south.
Handpicked, it's going to be nice. But yeah, the perfumes for somebody else. Anyway, let's not focus on those gifts for the ladies. But they'll get mad if they're listening. I'm sure they will. So we'll talk about going to the shed. It looks like you've got some things here. I've got to think in my head. I had some ideas, but I didn't put them down. So who are you taking to the shed this week?
Yeah, this week it's it was kind of lackluster. There wasn't too much. It was kind of some. I feel like there was some notables, and I thought you were going to come in and swoop out, so that's why I kind of did some digging. But
good.
I don't know if you saw this morning, but the MLB owners voted putting Oakland in the shed because they lost the Athletics today.
Yeah,
they're going to officially
the Vegas A's. Is that they're going to be?
I have no idea. I'm hoping it's going to be
the Aces. Well, that's for the basketball team.
Yeah, I don't know why they make it like the Gamblers or something like that too.
That'd be cool.
I can never figure out why they made it the Golden Knights when they made the hockey team, but. I digress. Vegas is going to have another professional sports team. How long until they have the NBA? Because they already have the midseason tournament.
Well, they have the WNBA there, right?
So, and they have that. So
pretty short.
They have G League there, I think, or summer league.
Summer leagues.
They have summer leagues in Vegas. So I think it's only a matter of time until they have all of
They just need somebody to relocate there. I don't think they're going to do an expansion team in Vegas. So you need somebody like Oklahoma City
but
or
it's
Memphis.
So much of but we'll see. But and I think last week I actually had Memphis in the shed too. So you just had on that, because they've been awful. I don't know if you've been watching the association. But
well, they got John. He's on the shelf.
He's.
And then they also got what's his name got hurt. Right? Steven Adams at the beginning of the season. So.
Yeah, but if we're building a team around Steve Adams, what are we really doing anymore? We're also going to put the Browns in the shed. Obviously, we got the news this morning. Deshaun Watson is done for the year. Had a broken shoulder. All of a sudden, he played really well.
So I heard it today. It happened, even though he had a shoulder injury earlier. That was on a hit during the game. It made it sound like he was playing with a broken shoulder for a couple of weeks. It's not like that. At least the guy from the Cleveland Beats today was saying that he got hit. He got sandwiched between two guys. If you watch the play, that was the play that broke his shoulder. It wasn't like he was just playing with a broken shoulder.
Right. No, it was like the whole second half he played. Yeah. But he was 14 of 14 in the second half.
And he was running.
Yeah, and he was playing really well. So I don't know if it's adrenaline or what.
His best game as a Brown, probably.
Yeah, and it just I think it was last year this happened. It just got it looked like he was just putting it back together, and all of a sudden injury done for the year. Yeah. So it's just same old Browns.
For sure.
I'm taking myself to the shed too. I got beat by 0.4 of a point in fantasy for the third time this year.
Third time this
year. I've lost by 0.4 of a point and 0.2 of a point twice.
Maybe we should go away from that decimal system.
Yeah, so I'm I think I'm 5-5 or I'm 5-6.
You're in the mix.
No, we're done for. It's tough. It's 18-team league and we've lost 3 times. It's just a lot of morale.
18. Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. It's been a tough couple weeks.
You got some weeks left.
So I'm taking myself to the shed. And then last, I don't know if you saw this today, but this really had me fired up. I'm taking the NCAA to the shed.
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw. They denied JMU and 2 other schools of their Division I eligibility and excluded them from postseason play. So,
and they're doing really well.
There's a rule that when you come from Double 1A to Division A or Division 1, you have to wait 2 years. And it's usually
I've seen it in basketball.
Yeah, and sometimes usually though they have SCS sprinkled in with FBS, right? There's usually Division 1A playing, but this year they played all Division 1, so that was kind of like we played a whole regular schedule or whatever. So why can't we be? And the NCAA just gave them a finger. So NCAA is stupid. I hope this gets to their front desk. I hope they reach out to me in my DMs so we can have a conversation about
it. They're listening to you.
Yeah, I hope they're here. Yeah, I hope they're part of our tens and thousands of hundreds that are here listening.
Yeah, well, who am I going to take to this shed? I mean, it's the easy one, right? Jimbo Fisher, or maybe it's Texas A&M. I'm not sure who should be. Actually, he's actually good. He's going to make all that money doing nothing. So maybe it's Texas A&M. Yeah. Not that they shouldn't have fired him, but now they fire him in the buyout's like $75 million. So the next guy that comes in, unless they're stupid again, is probably going to make not that much money. So I know there's a good list of candidates, but Jimbo Fisher of Texas A&M, he's gone. Mid-season, he has been disappointment, but man, let's stop giving these 10-year contracts and have buyouts forever. I mean, can you buy me out of the podcast and I make whatever like this poker who's
doing your litigation?
Exactly, my God. So that was my shed that I remembered I didn't put in, but I had it.
Nice little Jimbo Fisher, yeah. Shout out to him. And is there a better job in America other than a fired football coach?
No. And I mean, Urban Meyer could be back in college football. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
he's actually on the list.
Michigan State, heck yeah.
Yeah, well, he might go to A&M.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
You think, okay, we'll talk about that.
No, Dion, man.
I know. Well, anyway. Well, let's talk about the Dub Club. Let's talk about the club. I did go to kind of a clubbish situation with Mom. Pretty funny.
Nuh-uh.
She got a white wine there.
How was it?
We got in before it started becoming clubby.
Yeah.
We were at this little place around the corner in Leuven from our place, and we get there, and we're seated, and we're kind of in the back, and then we're leaving. The place was jammed, and I'm like, Mom, hold my hand. I got to pull you through the crowd. Lights were going, and they were.
Hell yeah.
So I didn't get her to dance or anything, but she did have fun. Gotcha. So anyway, but I made it before the bouncer was there with the red rope. So we made it in beforehand.
Nice. So you are part of the.
Yeah. That was Club Dub. That was pre-Club Dub.
You guys know.
How about you? What do you got the Club Dub?
Oh man, Club Dub. So we're gonna start with Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know if you saw him for the Pacers. He had back-to-back games against the Sixers with that in-season tournament going on too. He had back-to-back games. He had 32 assists and no turnovers. So
that's amazing.
He's had double doubles, and now this is updated because this happened last night too. Actually, 10 of 11 games now. So shout out to him. It's a good way for the Pacers. They are, I think, the 4 seed right now.
Okay.
Obviously, it's early. I think we're 11
in this tournament.
So.
Really makes a lot of sense. But
well, no, they're 4th in the East right now.
Okay.
So I don't know what they are in their tournament. I don't care about that either. But also, we're going with Jaden Daniels. So they destroyed Florida over the weekend. It was 52-35 was the winning score. But he's the first player in FBS history to throw for 350 passing yards and rush for 200 in the same game.
Gotcha.
So Obviously, when you do something that's never been accomplished in college football, it's pretty cool. So
Not
we'll
bad.
put you in there. And then the rounding out. Oh no, I guess I have 2 more on here.
That's okay.
We're gonna throw the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay.
Actually, I think they were in part of the shed in one of our very first episodes
Really?
this season. I think they lost a preseason game like 10-0.
Oh, okay. But
And
it
they
was
got taken
preseason.
to the shed.
I like the Sharks.
Yeah, I like the Sharks. The Sharks are the shed. So, but no, the Canucks are off to a hot start. They're probably the best team in Canada right now. They are 12-3-1. They through 16 games. They've got 25 points. I don't know if you know how hockey works.
We
can explain that
gets a
off air,
couple,
maybe.
tie
Yeah.
gets one. Okay.
I don't want to take too much time away from the NFL on this podcast. So they're obviously leading the league in point differential. They're plus 34. Actually, they have a three-way tie on their three-way tie on their team for the league in points.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's 34 points is what they're tied for right now between JT Miller, Quinn Hughes, and Elias Pettersson.
There you go.
So shout out to Vancouver. And then Charlie Woods, I don't know if you saw this. Charlie Woods' team down in Florida, they won the state golf championship. So he's a freshman. He shot 78 and 76 the 2 days.
Nice.
I think he was the number 4 golfer, if I remember reading it correctly.
Okay.
So, but maybe 14 years old shooting 78 and 76. It's pretty
Not
good.
bad.
But shout out to Dad, because Tiger never won any kind of state championship in golf. And do you know why that is?
Because they didn't have it.
It didn't exist. That's exactly right. But he did win the junior amateurs the couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So, but shout out to Charlie Woods.
Charlie, getting it done. Good for you. Good for you. Well, in my club dub, it's probably, we might have had him in last week, but we didn't have him. You did club dub on your own, so it'd be the Raiders.
Okay.
I know it's like whatever. They actually are having their own club dub experience, as you know. They're smoking cigars and
Max
popping
Crosby.
champagne after winning a couple of games. But they not just won the first game, obviously after firing the coach, but they got the second game too. I mean, they beat the Jets.
The Deader Cat special.
Yeah, the Deader, like it was a double bounce. It was a double bounce. We'll see if they can.
Dead cat, it was the
I don't know
Deader
about this
cat.
one when they get to Miami, but
It'd be the deadest cat.
it could be real dead. But no, I mean they're playing a little better. They're playing with some swag. I mean, I like that. They're excited about playing the football game that we all love. And Antonio Pierce has obviously got the squad. We'll see what happens when it's Miami. We'll talk about that. But for now, come on in, Raiders. Come on in, Club Dub. Max, you can show your tattoos off. Take off your shirts.
Yeah. No, they have been playing much better. So my guy AOC, you know.
AOC. I know who he is. He played at Purdue.
Yeah, right. It's the mustache that gets it for you. So
That stash. Like my cousin has a stash like that. I can't do it.
I think we're rounding down here too. We only had 3 weeks of college left.
I
Can you
know
believe
college
that? Or 3?
football goes so fast, but then you got the bowls, right? It's
Yeah.
like a month of bowls, but
More of a cereal bowl kind of guy
yeah,
myself.
me too. I had some this morning. So what do we got here? We got to get the big games. We still continue big games in college football.
Yeah, we've got obviously the wrapping up the conference play. So
Okay.
Utah is going to Arizona this week. Georgia is going to Tennessee. Kansas State at Kansas. Who would ever thought that'd be a big football matchup? But here we are.
Yeah.
And then you have Washington
So
going
close.
to Oregon State, and Oregon State is actually favored in that game. I don't know
Well,
if
it's
you've seen
Corvallis.
that.
I heard that at night, especially the team has only lost one game in 3 seasons or 4 seasons at home.
Yeah.
And when they play those night games at Corvallis, it's tough.
Yeah, the Beavers are powered by the moon. I don't know if you knew that or not. So they're going to be really having a damn good time.
I'll remember to say that on my next day.
Yeah, absolutely. So the power of bucktoothness is powered by the full moon. You had no idea. So
Who knew?
We did go 2-0 last week.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Nice
so
work.
shout out to us. We are 17-4-1
That's
on the
awesome.
year.
Man.
So
That's making cash.
Yeah, I can't believe it. We're here.
I hope your bankroll's getting big.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad we're documenting it. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
So if I can ever point it out, like if they on my resume, check out season 6 of the side action.
17-4-1.
So this week we're going to ride with Texas.
Okay.
So they're -7.5. They're going to Iowa State. I really think they're in a precarious position to where they can still win out and they can still get locked out. So I think they have to put on a talent show essentially basically every week. And I think at 7.5, if they cannot beat Iowa State by 14 or 17, I think their season's done. So I think it's a nice ride.
Win and cover, baby.
Yeah, I think they're going to cover. They're going to control the line of scrimmage really. I think really well, and they can just run the ball. It's not going to matter. And then we're going to ride with Penn State. Last time I checked, they're -20.5 this week against Rutgers. They're not playing Ohio State or Michigan, so
The top 10 team, forget about it.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Right. Yeah. No, we like Penn State when they're not playing Ohio State or Michigan. So no, Penn State is they'll bounce back. Yeah, it's definitely a big number. I think it's actually a better value number. Obviously, the only good game Rutgers has played really this year that most of us know is the Ohio State game. So Outside of that, I think Penn State's gonna be really upset. They're gonna bounce back. This is gonna be a good spot for them. So
Okay, good.
yeah,
I like it.
look for that defense to really lock Rutgers down.
Yeah, Penn State's defense is pretty good. The offense, well, All right, well, let's go into the recap of Week 10 for the NFL. I like how you tried it. We couldn't get you the information. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, no, that's okay. We just shows the value of our stats department.
Exactly, the stats department. Where were you last week? Eating frites.
Waffles.
It's waffles. Get some waffles, chicken and waffles. Right. Anyway, so the home road splits this way. Home teams were 8-6 this week. Now this one kind of flipped over. The dogs came back, so the favorites were coming back for a couple weeks now. Man, the dogs hit back. They were They were really 8-5-1 this week. So what can you say? I mean, who can predict this goddamn NFL? Exactly. That's the Zach Suter. He always sends me the poodle. Then he sends me like some sort of spaniel, and then he's sending like the big dog, woofing if you get something. But and then the overs actually hit a little bit bigger than normal this week, 8-6. Those are kind of balancing out, but it seems week to week you can't tell if it's going to be all favorites or all dogs. It hasn't been split. Spread came into effect a couple times because obviously they had a push as well, but still in the season it's only 12%, 18 150 games, where the spread actually mattered if you didn't pick the right team anyway. So, side action. We were across the pond. We're trying to communicate. I didn't tell you this. So in action, what now happens is I send a text, and he usually listens to the pod, knows my picks. Then we talk on Saturday. This time, I just had to send him the picks. We were like dead opposite on every single pick. So it was kind of one of these things where like, oh shit, like okay, we had the 49ers together. Oh hey, that came in by the way. They killed the Jags 34-3. But every other game. You texted
me Jacksonville on your picks, by the way.
What's that?
I think you texted me Jacksonville for your picks last week.
No, I didn't.
No, I think you did.
Absolutely not. Check the tape.
I will be checking that.
Check the tape.
I'm checking it right now.
But anyway, so then we just had to go down, and I originally had Indy.
San Fran -3. Okay.
Excuse me. There we go. Let's throw the flag.
No, I liked it because I was with you.
Yeah, that one was good. But yeah, so we differed like on New England, the Colts, and I was like, I think the Colts are going to win. And that one, we did end up taking New England. I'm like, I can understand maybe Big Bill. I think you were, Bill, they're going to play for Bill. They didn't play for Bill. They tried to play for Bill. This is Mac Jones sucks. And that offense could not get a score. I mean, it was just painful to watch. It was like 10-6. I mean, get in the end zone. Throw another pick, Mac Jones. And then they put in Zappy. He throws a game-ending pick, so that was rough.
No. He threw a fake spike game-ending pick.
To no one, right?
To 4 Colts and one Patriot.
And then this game I was on Atlanta. I know you probably watched the game. The Falcons, they're playing against Arizona. Okay, Kyler Murray. Come on, dude. Kyler Murray's not that good.
What do you mean he's not that good? Who told you that?
Everybody.
He throws one of the best balls in the league.
Yeah, when he can see over the line.
Come on.
Come on, dude. He played good.
He can take Arizona to the playoffs. He's a good quarterback.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but that franchise, exactly. I would argue they're even worse back then than what they are now from a personnel standpoint.
Come on. Well, anyway, I was going to give him credit because he did play a very good game, especially scrambled more than I expected. The biggest play of the game, which ironically is very similar to last week or the week before when Josh Dobbs made this, 3rd and 20 run and he got the first down and Minnesota won the game. It was very similar. 3rd and 10. They've got him pinned back. He's running around like a crazy man. Did you see that?
The Bijan Robinson view, if you will. That's what people call it.
Is it a Bijan Robinson?
Yeah, because he was the first one that really.
It was pretty amazing. So he got that done. But either way, the Falcons defense can't get a cover. So I'm off the Falcons. I lost 3 in a row.
You're quitting the Falcons?
Yeah, for now I got to quit till they're getting they're getting a lot of points. But so they didn't come through on us. He loved Dallas. That came through big. Your Tommy DeVito Giants didn't get it done. They lost 49-17. Don't play against Dallas in Jerry World. Just put it that way. They always cover at home. And then Seattle kind of failed us too. Friggin' Seahawks. Similar situation. Can you get a stop? You're up 7. You've got the cover. You can't stop them. You let the great Sam Howell, who is leading the league in passing, go down and score that game-tying touchdown. And then, of course, they do get the game-winning field goal. I don't give a shit. You're going to be covered by 6.5, pal.
When they have Bill Belichick next year, that team's going to be really good. I'm telling you.
They're going to fire the oldest coach for the second oldest coach. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, so it was 2-3. We are starting to fall down. We're 1200th.
Yeah.
We got we got some weeks left, but we got to make up a lot of ground. 4.5 picks to get back in the money. We were so close a couple weeks ago. So
better to be a has-been than it ever was. So.
So what about your picks? It looks like you did a little bit better.
Now we pushed again. You
Okay.
can't stop
You can't
going
get the
to.
2-2.
I can't. Yeah,
You're giving the vig back.
Yeah,
You're
well,
giving the vig.
all my mojo's in college. That's all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So,
Okay.
no, the Saints. Derek Carr obviously got hurt. Josh Dobbs is. I didn't think he was going to play this well.
He's a legend.
Yeah. So, smartest person maybe out in the league now that Ryan Fitzpatrick is gone.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, yeah, I guess player for sure. It's
Yeah,
Josh
he's a
Dobbs,
rocket
for sure.
scientist or something.
It just that was just.
Well, they were pimp slapping that team,
Yeah,
and then they put
Jameis-
Jameis in, and he
yeah.
got 2 touchdowns.
Sure,
They had a
no.
chance.
Yeah. That amazing across the field touchdown. That was an
jump
amazing.
ball.
He's the only person in the whole league that would throw that ball. Over
Obviously,
there too.
he doesn't
So,
care.
It's just wild. And
He's
then obviously the Raiders game we covered.
Yep.
I think we talked about.
Mhm.
I was on the wrong side of. I went against my Buccaneers, and yeah, I know. This is what happens when you leave me alone. You know, I make these decisions. So. Yeah, I took Tennessee. I thought Will Levis would have a better game. He's
Me
not.
too.
It just seems like if DeAndre Hopkins is covered, then nobody else is open.
I believe you said the Fighting Vrabels. They didn't fight too hard. 20-6.
Yeah. No, I did, and it was high. I figured maybe a Derrick Henry sighting would, and it just no. I don't know what he's done. They're done. The whole
Give
team.
it to Tajay Spears. I got him on some teams.
I think Vrabel's going to a different team. I just don't know which one it's going to be.
Get a little trade.
We're going to find out.
Maybe to New England.
And then I took Cleveland.
Well, good. Did you follow my advice? I was on my picks. I was all over it, and action would not go with me. And I understood why, because obviously, everybody's like the Ravens are this juggernaut, blah blah blah. And then they came out 17-3. I'm like, you know what? I texted action. I'm like, look, I guess you were right on the Ravens. Good thing we stayed away. And then, of course, the great comeback. They were down by 14 in the fourth quarter and won that game.
The Ravens have trailed for like 28 minutes all season, and they're 7-3.
Well, they said that the other 3 teams that have had that scenario where they've only trailed by 28 minutes or 30 minutes or less, they've all won the Super Bowl, but they also all started 10-0.
Yeah.
So they've lost 3 games in the fourth quarter because, the great Minshew could to come back on them too.
Well, I think it's turnovers. I think
Yes.
it really plagued them, and especially in the fourth quarter.
Well, and I'll say this about
and
Lamar.
the big plays.
I do love Lamar. I think he's a great talent, and I do have him for MVP, future. But when you make that guy pass the ball, you got to pass the ball, Lamar. You got to get us, 70 yards. He usually screws it up, unfortunately.
I don't think it's even been him throwing picks. It's been him more fumbling the ball in the pocket, honestly. I think him as a passer, he's been playing really well.
Sure.
It's just
more was a tip ball or something, too. I mean,
but from where he started, from where he is now, I think is completely night and day.
Oh, yeah,
People forget that pretty much.
No, I just want him to be, he could be the guy. I mean, if he wins it all this year, then it changes the conversation.
Right, that's fair.
But we'll see. So
big game tonight for them, though.
Huge game. And then, so we go into the preview for this week. We already mentioned Deshaun Watson, broken shoulder. They're going with Dorian Thompson-Robinson instead of PJ. So what do you think about that?
I think if anything, it's an insurance policy. They're obviously not going to keep PJ Walker, and if they're going to talk themselves into saying that DTR was not prepared just because he only had 90 minutes, so I think if anything, they're trying to figure out what they have behind Deshaun Watson. So they kind of know what they have in PJ Walker. So they might as well find out what they have in DTR if they see a little bit of something. They obviously see something in practice. He had splashes in the preseason, and plus they got to try to figure out when you get a Deshaun's contract because it's not a very good proven track record for him to come back from shoulder surgery and just be 100% again.
Yeah, hey, just get out there.
Everything's going to go right back to normal. So I highly doubt that's going to happen. So if anything, I think this is them starting their quarterback their search.
Yeah, what they said this week is that first of all, when he started this game, DTR started the last game, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Is that right?
The Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens.
Yeah.
So in this situation, he actually had like you said, like 90 minutes to prepare. Like, hey, by the way, you're playing.
Yeah, like a Justin Herbert situation.
Shit, what the hell? That sucks. But I want to remind you and the listeners out there, they did have Josh Dobbs before the season.
Yeah, no kidding, right? They had him on the...
Let's keep PJ Walker. He's better than Dobbs.
Yeah.
Yikes. I mean, what would that have been? He'd be in the Super Bowl.
They were talking about Ryan Tannehill, too. They were talking about he was asking for his release. They were talking about even Mac Jones. Like, Mac Jones, since they're going to sit around and play Zapper, whether they should just cut Mac Jones and Mac Jones should sign with Cleveland.
About that.
I think that.
I
think Mac Jones in Cleveland would be.
Well, let's see how he plays tonight. Or Cleveland. Or I'm sorry, he plays. Obviously,
Sunday,
playing Pittsburgh. Let's see how he plays this Sunday. I'll give him. I don't know. Mac Jones plays. Justin Fields is starting this week against Detroit. That's moved the line. We'll talk about that a little more later. So we had the Badgett era. The Badgett era is over. But he did okay, 2-2. We forgot to mention earlier too. It probably should have been in the shed. Ken Dorsey fired from Buffalo, the offensive coordinator there. What I always remember Ken Dorsey of, besides him playing for the Hurricanes back in the day, was I think it was last year when they were playing the Dolphins, wasn't it? When he was caught in the booth, slamming things down. I mean, I love the fire, but maybe that's not the right guy to have at the helm of an offense that once was good. I just think they don't run the ball enough. So Joe Brady takes over, the guy who used to call plays at LSU for Joe Burrow and stuff, and he didn't do so great with Carolina. But maybe he's just going to let hey, just run the ball every time, Josh Allen, because that's their only offense.
I totally forgot that Ken Dorsey was calling special teams plays. Because I think the only reason why he lost his job is because there was 12 men on the field.
Oh,
and because if you got to think, if he doesn't miss that field goal,
that's true.
They don't make that. If the Bills win that game, Ken Dorsey probably still has his job right now.
That's probably true. True. I mean,
just the amazing butterfly effect that's happened in that game, the 24 hours. Yeah, I feel like it's incredible. So
that's true. 12 men on the field, they got the field. I mean, they still didn't. They wouldn't have covered the game. Great teams cover, but yes, they should have probably won the game.
But it's interesting. They lost Leslie Frazier. Now they're losing Ken Dorsey. Do we have a shit show happening in Buffalo right now?
That's what
I'd be wondering. It's Trayvon Diggs, brother of Stephon, was even on Twitter. He needs to get out of here.
He's saying Diggs wants to go to the Cowboys, which they could use him, but big price tag.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not right now. No way.
So I only noted some big injuries, especially tonight. T. Higgins is not going to play. Trey Anderson is going to play. Scratch out questionable. Sam Hubbard is not going to play. So we'll talk about how that affects the handicap. And then Matthew Stafford is supposed to start.
Stanley for left tackle.
Ronnie
Stanley. Was he playing?
I'm not sure.
I know he was questionable.
Was he questionable? Check. Our stats department will check into that. But Matthew Stafford's on track to play for the Rams versus Seattle. That's moved the line too. Those are really the major injuries that I saw out there. I'm sure there's some that I'm missing out.
Marlon Humphrey is also doubtful. Actually, he's ruled Marlon Humphrey is ruled out. And Marlon Humphrey's still doubtful.
Gotcha.
That was as of a day.
Well, we'll talk about that. Let's go. Hey, nice transition.
Yeah.
So we've got tonight, if you're listening live and commenting soon, we've got the Bengals at the Ravens. 3.5 point favorites for Ravens at home, 46.5 point total. It does feel like the Ravens have been home every game the last few weeks.
They're right in the middle of a 3-game home stretch. Well, because they traveled the most out of anybody in the first 9 games.
And they also went to London. Yeah. So Cincinnati, 3.5 on the road. It's almost like a must win. Let's do the Dalton. Is this a must win or can't lose? But really, I mean, at this point, you're 5-4, right? I think the Bengals are 5-4.
Yep.
The Ravens are 7-3, sitting not pretty, but they've been in this position the last few years where they've been leading the division and lose out in the end. I just think the Bengals have to win this football game. I mean, they could theoretically lose it and still make it, but I mean, this would be another loss in the division. That's why I'm taking the points, bro. 3.5. I mean, I know that traditionally the Bengals play terrible in primetime. I've heard that they've won one game in the last whatever.
No, that's not true. They've won last 6 in primetime with Joey B at the helm.
Are you in division?
I don't know about in division, but at primetime they're 6-0 in the last primetime with Joey
All I know is I've heard these stats. Maybe it's against Baltimore.
Okay.
But
I was gonna say Baltimore's been like the Cincinnati killer.
Yeah, they are. Lamar's 3-1 against Joe.
Yeah.
But I just I don't know. In terms of motivational edge, the Bengals have it, but I do think Baltimore's a better football team. But 3.5, bad number.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do the Jimmy Wegs method here. I'm taking the hook, baby. I'm playing the hook. Yeah,
baby, take it."
So I'm with you. I would take the Bengals at plus 3.5. I'm so torn on this game because I feel like I definitely think this is definitely going to be an under game. This smells like an under. There's no T. Higgins. Everybody thinks that The offenses are going to have a good day, though, because there's so many injuries on the defenses. But I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think this is going to be your 17-16 game.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Hammer that under.
Boom,
I'm usually a big advocate of the over. I like rooting for points.
Well, it went from 43.5 to 46.5 pretty quick, so people bet the over quickly. Yeah. But now it's at a point where maybe
I would definitely take that under right now, though. But
it's been so many straight unders on primetime. It's kind of ridiculous.
I think what they say it's like 24-5 this year on primetime. So, but no, I'm with you. I think this is I can't lose to the Bengals, but yeah, to have 3, because even if they lose this game and then win, the best case scenario is they could split in divisions. So all those tiebreakers that they'd be in for the playoffs, it wouldn't matter. Yeah. So to your point, I think this is a must-win for Cincy. Take the hook, baby.
I mean, Cincinnati is the happiest of all people that Deshaun Watson got hurt. Yeah. They're like, thank God, I'm going to have a chance.
And the Jets, too. I'm sure the Jets were really excited to hear about that.
The Jets.
Yeah, the Jets.
My Jets. Whatever. Okay, let's go to another game. There's no fancy games in London or Germany anymore, which was fine. So we've got Dallas at Carolina. So 10.5 point favorites. That's incorrectly placed, by the way. It should be plus 10.5 because it's a road team. Thanks, job. No job, Jimmy Wegs. Anyway, so Dallas is 10.5 point favorites on the road, and so in 42 point total, pretty low total. I love Dallas at home. You know that. I love that at home. 10.5. I mean, Carolina sucks. We all know this. But I don't know if you heard, Frank Reich's calling plays again. That's not going to matter. But Carolina's defense isn't that bad. 10.5 points. I'm staying away from this, bro. Big stay away spot. Originally, I had Dallas as one of my top 5, but I just feel like this is a total trappish game. They should be able to cover this number easily. If it was inside the 10, maybe I consider it, but the back door, we love the back door being wide open.
That's fair.
But I can't do it. I can't do it with Dallas, and there's no way I'm going to actually put this on a contest pick with Carolina. So stay away, Jimmy Wegs, stay away.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like the number either. It's that damn hook. It's always that damn. The first one we love it, and this one we hate it. So sometimes it's hard to quit that hook. But I would take it. I would take Dallas, or I'd ride with the favorite. So they're going on the road. Dallas, or I guess Dak has been playing probably. Next to C.J. Stroud, the best?
Yeah, last couple games.
Yeah, last couple games, the best at the quarterback position. So they're eventually going to get back to maybe running the football. Probably not, just because they only have Tony Pollard and Zeke is.
Give it to Dowdle, man.
5,000 yards.
You can't get in from the one.
To do, overdue. So we had a Brandon Cook sighting, which I think will help down the road for Dallas. I still think they're going to fall apart in the first or second round of the playoffs, like they normally do.
Inevitably.
But I think they could take care of business here in Carolina. I would feel comfy with it. I'm sure that the defense will overwhelm Bryce Young too. So and Carolina's got nothing to play for. They don't have their own pick. So
that's true. That's sad.
We'll see.
Yeah, Bryce Young. All right, here's back to what we just discussed before. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. This number's interesting. So it started, obviously, Cleveland was a 4-point favorite, which I thought, that's way too much. Divisional game. Now it's dropped down to 1 right now in the market. Circa's got it at a pick for a contest. So 33-point total, which is rock bottom total, which is, we all know that these games are tough, but that's a really low number. I got to go with Cleveland here, man.
I know it's so weird. They don't think there's going to be 5 touchdowns in this game? Oh, my God. That's insane.
Well, I mean, give me a break. They could get there with field goals. I mean, but I like Cleveland at that number. I know that some people are like, there's no way. Cleveland's defense is legit. You got to remember that Cleveland actually lost this game at Pittsburgh because it was like 2 defensive scores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
DTR obviously is going to have to play well in this game, but if he kind of protects the ball, I think Cleveland get it done. I mean, just so if you give me a pick at home, these teams are not even with the crappy quarterback play by Cleveland. Kenny Pickett, sorry, buddy. I was on you early. You're gone, buddy. So I'm on Cleveland.
No, this one's tough. Just because the Steelers have began to run the ball a lot better. They put Broderick Jones in. I don't remember our story time from a couple weeks ago from when the Patriots traded that pick so the Jets could draft him. He's been a huge asset to the Steelers running game. I think they had 200 yards. I think they had over 200 yards.
They're starting to give the ball to the other guy.
So, they're trying to get Jalen Warren involved.
Jalen Warren had a nice game.
This one's tough because I think line of scrimmage play definitely leans the Browns' way because the Browns have still been able to run the football all year. I mean, you saw against the 49ers, they controlled the whole line of scrimmage. So I think from that standpoint, I would go with you. I think I'm with Cleveland. I would take the over just because how can you not? It's 33. Yeah, come on. Like, what kind of joke is this, right? Like, these are professional athletes here that we're talking. If they can't get the ball in the end zone.
These are not the Iowa Hawkeyes, okay?
Right? Like, this is not Michigan State or Northwestern at Iowa in Wrigley Field. So I think this is going to be a little bit better. I definitely take the over. I'm with you on Cleveland, and this is starting to get really weird because it's 2 for 2 that we're agreeing on. So
I know this is weird.
Yeah, this is bad
Mind
podcasting.
meld. Don't worry, it'll change. It's going to change. Okay, so here we go. The Bears are going to Detroit. We mentioned Justin Fields is back. Welcome back. Right now, the market says 7.5. Circa's got it at 8. This number was much higher though. It was up around 9 points. Now maybe that was with the Badgett news. So then they lowered it really quickly. The market just jumped all over with Fields. 47.5 point total. I do think it's too big of a move, and I know that Fields had a great game against them last year in Detroit, and Detroit didn't play well last week defensively, but this team definitely outclasses the Bears, even though they've been playing pretty good against the run. I will say that. Good job, Bears. 7.5 points at home. I don't. Something doesn't compute here. So either somebody knows something's going on with Jared Goff and his wife or girlfriend, whoever he's got, and they got some dirty pictures on him or something. I'm laying the wood here, 7.5 with Detroit.
Really?
Or 8 in the contest.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I love the Bears this week.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think a mobile quarterback is really going to give Detroit fits.
Okay.
I think obviously I think Detroit is a good team, but they are suspect to good quarterback play.
Okay.
So I think if they can. Hopefully Justin Fields learned a little bit from Badgett and just letting the ball rip instead of sitting and holding it forever. So we're going to definitely find out that way. But I think the athleticism of Justin Fields is going to – I don't know if the Bears probably aren't going to win, but they're definitely going to cover here. I think I could see this as a 3 or 4 point game.
Okay.
And you saw them step up and play well against the Saints. If they don't turn the ball over 5 times, they probably beat the Saints, honestly. So
the Saints are pretty good.
The Saints aren't obviously the Detroit Lions, but we could both probably agree that the roster of the Saints is way better than the roster of Chicago.
Oh, yeah,
so
for sure.
For that game to be that close, I feel like it was definitely more self-inflicted. So I can definitely see the Bears covering here. I like them this week with Fields coming back. They got a little more juice. They have reasons to win. I mean, Eberflus is coaching for his job. So
yeah, I mean he has been, but yes.
Yeah. So I think they still have motivation to win. They still have Carolina's pick. So either way, they want to win the building. They're not packing it in yet.
What about the total?
See, I knew you were going to ask me that. I would take the over here. To your point, Chicago has been really good against the run lately. But I don't know if anybody runs the ball better than Detroit in the whole league. Maybe Baltimore, maybe is the other team. But I would take the over. Obviously, like to your point, Goff's a better quarterback. So
yeah, I like the over too. I wasn't setting you up. I believe that. All right, now let's go Chargers at Green Bay. The Chargers are a 3-point favorite on the road, 44 point total. I know this is weird. I've hated the Chargers all year, and somehow Brandon Staley keeps his job every week. But I mean, Herbert had a great game last week. Finally, big 5 touchdown game. He was amazing against Detroit. Green Bay just can't score, man. I don't understand this team. Like, they don't score in the first half. They do keep games close. They have decent defense. And it's weird for me to say this, but I think the Chargers are going to, lay this number. I would lay the 3 at Green Bay with the Chargers. They're better than this Green Bay team.
Wow. Well, I felt really comfortable with the Chargers until you said that. You never like the Chargers. That's why I'm like, give me all the Chargers.
I'm flipping back.
Yeah, that's like if you don't like them, I'll take more of the Chargers. So,
I mean, I love the unis. I love the team, but
no, I'm with you. It's such a quarterback mismatch.
Yes.
And Green Bay's defense has not been as good as we all thought it could be. So, and obviously, I think Austin Eckler is going to have a good game. I think they're able to control the line of scrimmage pretty well. No, I'm with you, and I think the Chargers have to win to keep up because this is a big week for the Chiefs, which we'll get into here shortly. But this could be a week for them to gain a game back, if you will, in the standings. So, and I mean, don't look now, but the Broncos. So. I think they got to. I think they're focused. I think Brandon Staley is still coaching for his job, so he's got to definitely keep the ship afloat, if you will.
Yeah, I mean that's the only factor. Do I trust how much do I trust Brandon Staley? The guy stinks, but I just think that they're starting to get healthy now, and the talent is finally starting to show a little bit. So that's my take. We'll see. It's on my top 5. I know it's weird. Brandon Staley. Okay, so let's go with. America's darling, the Houston Texans. They're hosting Arizona. They're your Kyler Murray-led Cardinals. They're in the market. It's 5 -5 for Houston at home, 4.5 at Circa. So they're kind of doing some anticipatory stuff here. The total is 49. Money's coming in on Houston, but I guess Circa's anticipating a buyback, which I kind of would too. 5 is just a weird number. I was all over Houston initially. I was like, oh yeah, 4. Yeah, it goes up to 5. I'm like, what's the difference? Not that much, actually, as we know. But there's something just doesn't smell right with this game. I look at the betting splits. 51% of the money is on Houston, which is right down the middle, and like 54% of the tickets is on Arizona. So I understand everybody's getting roped in with what Murray did last week, but I think it's more the play. Even though Houston's been great at home, they've been one of the really good home teams like Texas or like Dallas. I just worry about it. At one point, they're going to play like shit. It's going to happen, and I just feel like it's this game. So 5 points, they're going to win this game. I'm almost positive, but I can't lay it. So I pull it off the card. I'm staying away again.
I'm really tired of your Kyler Murray slander, and it just started already. Just this, man. He is a top 10 quarterback in this league. Really? He absolutely is a top 10 quarterback. Okay. He throws the prettiest ball in the league. The dude,
when he knows the play, he doesn't watch film.
The dude was drafted in the MLB draft as well. Like, the dude's got a cannon and he can throw the ball anywhere. Is this
a Call of Duty game?
No, but still, it doesn't take away any of his talent just because he enjoys it. But this is my favorite play of the week. I like Arizona money line.
Okay.
I think they go into Houston. I think they win.
I'm not against you in this, actually.
I think Kyler Murray has a reason. I think taking the game away from somebody, and he probably talks about this too, I think gives him perspective. So I think, all that crap you heard about before about not taking it serious or not watching film, if you take that away, I think maybe you come back with a different perspective and approaching it differently. So, and I think you saw in his play last week, he came back and he looked like he hadn't really missed a beat. He probably had a couple throws that weren't Kyler, as well as he'd like, but for him to not play basically for 12 months, he looks pretty decent. So I think he's only going to get better the more he plays.
So it's a play on Arizona, not necessarily against Houston.
I think Arizona's going to be one of the most undervalued teams in the market moving forward. So I think as we're starting to punt on them, I think as they get Kyler back, we can start to buy back in a little bit more, especially with those backdoor covers and stuff like that. So
the backdoor cover.
Yeah, but I love Arizona this week. James Conner, I think, is going to have a good
week. He helps
a
lot.
I think, again, with their RPO game, they have one of the best RPO games in the league with those two.
And with him out of the lineup, Connor, they definitely weren't as effective with Dobbs. And then when he came back, and then of course Kyler got to benefit. But I don't think you're wrong. That's why it was like Houston or pass for me here, because I felt something weird. Obviously, a lot of people feel like you do. We'll see. I still don't think Arizona's roster is very good besides those players. So, but we'll see. Let's let it play out. You take Arizona, no problem. I'm just going to watch from afar. How about, can I interest you in a Titans-Jags game?
Oh, man.
Now, I want to say something weird about the Jags. They can't win at home. What the hell is the matter with this team? No, really. They've lost like 3 games at home already, or maybe 4.
Yeah. They're undefeated in London, though. They're 2-0 in their real home.
That's right. They're real home. Jaguars. So they're 7-point favorites at home, 40-point total. Again, another low total here. Oh, man. I was going to take this game, too, but it's like divisional rival, the Fighting Vrabels. I do think that the Will Levis situation isn't great. I think he's just starting to, hit some speed bumps, so to speak. So it would be Jags or pass for me, but they didn't make the top 7 picks for me in this game. So I would lean Jags, but I'm not going to put some money on the line in this one. And I would probably go over this total of 40.
Yeah, the analytics tell us that home dog of 7 or no, I guess the Titans on the road here. So
right.
The analytics would tell us to take the Jaguars.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
I'm with you. I think it's a bounce back spot. They got embarrassed last week.
Totally.
I don't think Tennessee has any motivation to win. To say. They're not even using Derrick Henry. He looks like a shell of himself.
They got to put back the Oilers jerseys.
I don't know what. Apparently, it's the only time DeAndre Hopkins can get open. So
maybe it's the color.
But no, I think Jacksonville's the play here. I think their defense got embarrassed. They're going to have something to prove.
They got to play better.
And like to your point, they haven't won one at home yet. They have to win with the pool, right? They have to.
You got to have the pool. You got to jump in.
They had the stadium swim. So. No, I'm with you. I would play Jaguars this week. Even obviously it's not the greatest number at 7, but I would tease it up to 10 and feel pretty comfy with it.
Oh wow! Alt line, get some more money in there.
So, but if Zay Jones comes back this week, I don't know.
Isn't he in got some charges against him or something?
I'm not real sure what's going on with him. I keep trying to read about it on Twitter, and I can't really find anything credible.
Yeah,
so
that's all right.
But he is a big difference maker. So I guess in the meantime, if it's not Zay Jones, it's got to be Evan Ingram.
Okay. All right, well, let's go. This is your squad. The Raiders going to Miami here. 13.5-point favorites at home for Miami. 46.5-point total. I'm not sure how high this is going to go. It started off around 11, I think, as the opener, and now it's up to 13.5. I can't go that high with Miami. I actually would pick the Raiders. They were in the top 7 picks for me, just because it's too many points. Even though we know Miami is the bullies of the AFC, like Dallas of the NFC, they usually pummel people, especially coming out of the bye here. But something about these Raiders, it's just too many friggin' points. I think they're going to win the game, but I mean, Miami is not going to just destroy them. Since if it was like the Bills or something, they'd run it up on them. I don't think they'll run it up on the Raiders. So it's just kind of a home game for me. No interest.
Just okay, that's fair. Just a meh game.
I know you're on the fence here.
Oh yeah, I think right now Miami's probably the most undervalued team outside
of Arizona.
Yeah, outside. Well, no, I'm just saying for the team that's actually going to maybe make a playoff run. I think right now is if you're going to buy a future on Miami right now is the time. So their defense is only a
500 team they're playing here.
Yeah, their defense is only going to get better though coming out of the bye. They didn't play very well in the first 7-8 weeks of the season. They're probably only going to get better as we all know Vic Fangio can coach.
He can.
And I know we've been talking about that all season. It's going to happen eventually. It has to happen, right? Otherwise, what's the point? Otherwise, it's going to look really different next year. That's all I have to say. But no, I like Miami this week. I like the over, and I think Miami might be able to get the over by themselves. So,
sure.
Coming out of the bye, I would take the Fins here. I don't like the 13.5. I like it better at 11, but I think it's probably a 14 to 17 point game for sure. I just don't see how the Raiders' offense can keep
I think AOC is going to struggle on the road on this one for sure. And not even just Fangio, just first big start on the road. It's going to be tough. It's just whether Miami will take advantage of it. Raiders' defense has been decent. They haven't really been blown out all season, so
no, that's fair.
Keep it kind of close. But yeah, I got it. All right, here we go. How about the Giants and Washington, a storied rivalry that is kind of crappy this year. So it currently in the market is 9 for Washington at home, 9-point favorites, 8.5 in Circus. They expect some buyback in on the Giants. 37-point total on their low total. I'm on the Giants, dude. I know it's weird to say this out loud. I said it. It's has nothing to do with Tommy DeVito, who we know sucks. I just think Washington isn't that good. I think that they are better when they are expected not to win. Sam Howell plays great on the road when they're supposed to get beat by 7 points or something. But at home, when they're supposed to cover, they just don't play well. So too many points here, even though it's Tommy DeVito. This isn't as big of a number as Dallas was laying, and obviously they took care of business, but I don't know. I like the 8.5, so I'll take the 8.5. Thank you for taking the 8.5 for the Giants.
This is my stay away game.
Yeah,
good idea. That's all I gotta say.
Stinky.
I'm
smells.
I'm pleading the fifth.
It's like that guy on the train last night. I was riding home.
I'm taking the Robert Saleh road on this one. I'm pleading the fifth. But no, I think that number's like right at where I would take Washington. But it's like that's that 8.5 or 9. Like 9's right at the number. If you can get it at 7, I would take Washington. If you get it at 10, I'd take the Giants. So, what happened to Tyrod Taylor? Do we know? Why isn't he playing?
He's hurt.
Tommy DeVito lives at home with his parents.
I know he does. Yeah, he does.
He's talking about his mom still doing his laundry and stuff. Like when they quoted him on Sunday Night Football or something. I was like, why would he think it was okay to say this?
He probably shouldn't have said that out in public.
Right? Like why wouldn't he talk about anything else other than what his home life is?
He probably gets some good home cooking.
I mean, that's great. Mama DeVito is probably a lovely woman. Nothing bad to say about Mrs. DeVito whatsoever. But why in the world would he talk about that?
He should have said that.
Yeah.
He's going to be hearing that when he's calling it 666.
Yeah.
Hey, is your laundry done at home?
Yeah, how's the cookies from your mom? Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm sure she makes great cookies. Yeah.
Meatloaf. That would be really funny if they changed one of his calls. Meatloaf, mama's meatloaf. And then hands it off.
She's Italian. There's no way she makes meatloaf.
She makes meatballs.
Yeah, meatballs.
Meatballs. Mama's meatballs. Right? Whatever. Anyway, we'll stay away from that shitty game.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be that's gonna be a real barn burn. I would definitely take the over though, because why not?
37, so low.
The Giants' defense is so bad. Though.
Yeah, they're bad. So is Washington's. Yeah, they're bad. All right, so Tampa at San Francisco. This is in the afternoon window. This should be. I don't know what to say about these games this week. 11.5-point favorite for San Francisco. 41.5-point total. We saw the power of the Niners come back. Not that I'm that excited about it because I didn't bet them, but they're a really good football team when they're healthy. When they got Debo back in, diverse lineup. Obviously, Trent Williams playing is critical. We've talked about that already. They've got it back. Can Tampa keep anywhere near 11.5 on the road? The answer is no, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's a super low total, too. 41.5. That basically means they expect Tampa to score like 10 points.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Can Tampa score more than 14? Is he still at the basket?
Right.
But no, I'm with you. I'm with San Fran. I think Trent Williams coming back. They're going to be able to run the ball against Tampa, which most people don't. But I think obviously this is the team that can go in and move them. And I think San Francisco's got to keep the roll because Seattle's on their hips, and they've got to try to catch the Eagles maybe for home field advantage. So
bigger,
yeah, they're rolling. I think Brock Purdy's been a little disrespected, so I think he's going to play well. And they're
he played good last week.
So now I'm with you on the San Fran train.
Okay. How about the Jets and Bills? Bills are at home again, 7-point favorites at home, 40-point total. I'm going to, full disclosure, was totally on the Jets in this game, +7, because the Bills are imploding. But, of course, obviously getting rid of Ken Dorsey, what does that mean? Is there such a thing as a dead cat bounce for an offensive coordinator? It hasn't really worked in some places, but I just think the Bills will play a little better this week. Even though the Jets they somehow have a matchup advantage against this team. Every time they play them, they really slow them down. Yeah. But they stick with goddamn fucking Zach Wilson. We were both talking about taking the Jets last week. And I was like, I don't know, dude. You can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, it's not about the Raiders. It's not about who they play. They've scored, one touchdown since Zach Wilson has taken over. They've 25 field goals or something. And one goddamn screen pass sorry to get upset, America.
Nothing makes me more uncomfortable than putting money on Zach Wilson.
Exactly. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I told him last week. I'm like, I understand your comment about the Jets. Zach Wilson's still quarterback. Yeah. Put anybody in there. I mean, Matt Barkley, not good. He's probably better.
Tommy DeVito's mom back there, for God's sake. She makes great cookies.
Sad, huh?
Yeah, God, I'd rather have her than
Mama's meatballs. Yeah, but anyway, let's stay away from this game. I'm sure you're on the Bills here.
Oh, yeah. This is I would take the Bills. They have to win this game.
They have to win.
If they don't win, they're going to be,
Will they fire McDermott right away?
Well, they'll be, 2 games or 3 games out of the AFC East? They'll be 2 games back. So basically, the game with Miami would basically be a wash at that point. So... Yeah, they have to win. I don't know. That's such a tough number at 7 because the Jets' defense is definitely going to show.
They're salty.
Play.
They love playing ball.
Yeah, and they love playing Josh Allen.
They do. He gives the ball up.
Yeah,
he lost that game last week. It's and I love Josh Allen. I told you when he came in the league, I'm like, I love this guy. Big arm guy, Wyoming dude, whatever, blah blah blah.
Gunslinger.
And since Dable left, he just turns the ball over left and right. He just can't do it.
He plays hero ball. Outside of the 13 seconds game, this is probably the most pressure Buffalo has faced since that moment in time. So
it's a must win.
This is going to be a huge game for Buffalo. Yeah. The building is going to... I almost feel like it's going to be a tension in the building. It's not going to be the excitement's going to go, shit, what's going to happen this week? So that's never a good thing either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you lay the points. It's going to be at a distance, safe distance
you're going to hang out in the parking lot
and watch when they finally, they knock Zach Wilson out of the game, they bring in Matt Barkley, and he takes them in a game.
Yeah, exactly. And they win by 14. Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. Amazing.
Okay, so let's talk about Seattle and the Rams. This is an interesting game in the NFC West. I mean... again, Circa has Seattle as a 1-point favorite, but in the market right now, it's a 0.5-point favorite. This is down. It was up around 2.5 and dropped when they talked about Stafford. So it's a pretty big move with Stafford. 46.5-point total. We talked about how Rippon played. We were confident in Rippon a couple weeks ago. He played like shit. So obviously he's got the good receivers there when Stafford comes back. And the Rams beat Seattle before up in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
Week 1.
Yeah. So I mean. It seems to be there's a lean to the Rams here. I will tell you that, and sorry, Ridgeway, which I texted her, it was 2 o'clock in the morning Belgium time, and I was like, fuck your Seahawks, because they move the cover again. They can't cover the games. They barely beat Cleveland. They covered that game, but it was very late. So I definitely, them covering, it's not a big number, but some Rams are past here. They're not in my top 5, but their Rams are past.
I love the Rams this week. They're healthy.
As you do.
So they got the right tackle back. They have Stafford back. They have a full complementary of weapons. I like the Rams here. This is one of my favorite players of the week. This one made the Beaver
Coop special. This is
the
Beaver.
This is the Beaver Dam pick of the week for those of you that follow us on the weekly
Beaver
basis.
Dam's exploding.
Yeah, the Beaver Nation pick of the week. So no, I like the Rams here. Their defense is suspect, but man, Geno just to your point, Geno just keeps turning the damn ball over. I feel like they would be better if they just turn and hand the ball off 30 times a game and made Geno only throw it 20 to 25 times.
Yeah, and I think that they also their defense doesn't hold up in the fourth quarter. I don't know if they're undersized, and you always talk about that with Carolina, but they just get beat up in the fourth quarter every time.
Yeah, and so I love the Rams this week, and to that point, you should probably go with the Seahawks. So we'll see.
The Beaver Nation. So let's go to the night games. We got Sunday night game, Minnesota at Denver. Again, probably a more marquee game, although Denver's played themselves back into somewhat semi-contention. Minnesota's in the playoffs as of today. Denver's a 2.5-point favorite at home, 42-point total. I'm all over Minnesota, man. I don't understand what the hell. Does nobody listen to us? Does anybody listen? Is this working? Is this on? Minnesota has been playing great. I was dogging them last year. They won all these games kind of in a bullshit way, come from behind, blah, blah, all offense.
They're at it again.
But this year, they actually are playing defense.
Last year, they didn't play
Flores.
Yeah.
So
Flores.
I understand Denver's had 2 good games. They beat Kansas City, kind of surprise spot. They beat, obviously the Bills last week, which was a good win. But they've got a lot of turnovers there. I don't think Dobbs is going to turn the ball over. You're giving me 2.5 points and Josh Dobbs all day. That's the Wegs pick of the week.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going the other way. I like Denver.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Head coach mismatch for one thing. Sean Payton is definitely a much better football coach than
at one time.
At one time. Well, yeah, I think he still is than Kevin O'Connell. So Josh Dobbs has to have a regression at one point. There's a reason why he was a backup in this league.
This is the Josh Dobbs dip.
Yeah, this is going to Denver. There's not really much of a rest advantage coming off the Monday night game since they're playing Sunday night. So that's the good thing for Denver as well. But I think they have a lot of momentum on their side just as much as Minnesota does. So I like their ability to run the ball. I think it's going to negate some of that pressure that Minnesota can present. And they have Javonte Williams and Samaje Perine. And I think they're going to make just enough plays in the passing game to squeak by. So I like Denver. I think they cover. I think they win by 3 or 4. And they're at home. They're in Mile High. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
We can only hope it's a snow game. So, but no, I like Denver. Please. I like Denver. So I would be fine laying the points here.
Okay, there you go. It's not in your top 4 Beaver Nation picks, but that's good. I get it. Okay, it's Monday Night Football game. I'm not going to see this game. I wish I could, but I heard one reason why I'm driving. Not that I was going to fly anyway. But
Taylor Swift is coming in.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Not only just Taylor Swift, but this is it's like $700 one way to friggin' Kansas City right now.
What, to fly?
Yes.
Holy cow.
It's not very far.
Yeah.
So I'm driving.
It's because Taylor Swift's going.
It's Taylor Swift, and it's a rematch of the Super Bowl if you check this. But
is it really?
Eagles and Chiefs might have played a little while ago.
Yeah, but they played on that crappy field.
Oh boy, it was crappy.
And that's why the Eagles lost, because all the paint on the field.
There you go. Yeah. So Kansas City's a 2.5-point favorite at home, 45.5-point total Super Bowl rematch. Here's a question. Sounds like you already like the Eagles, which I do too. I liked it a lot better when it was at 3. I was like, stay. Of course, everybody bet that down. So it's going to stay at 2.5. It's not going to move because unless there's some crazy news that Hurts isn't going to play or something. But what about this total, 45.5? Now I know the Chiefs haven't scored much this year, but the Eagles certainly can, and the Eagles' defense isn't great, so I'd probably go over. I know it's a primetime spot.
Oh yeah, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, so I'm Philly, which is the dog, plus 2.5, and the over.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I ride with Philly. I think the one thing that they can do is they're going to run the ball, obviously. The physical, the thing from the Super Bowl that I think you'll notice in this game, I don't know how. We're going to find out how healthy Jalen Hurts is because they had a lot of design runs in the Super Bowl. They had like 10 of them in the first half, and I think they had like 17 the whole game. So looking back in the archives, if you will, I did the all 22
You did the
this
full,
week.
did the film on 22.
So that's going to be a big thing. But I just like the blind play of offense and defensive line of the Eagles. I think they'll be able to handle that. And obviously the biggest weakness of the Eagles is their secondary. I don't think the Chiefs had a wide receiver. They don't have the wide receiver core to really take advantage of the weakness of Philly. So we're going to find out, though, because,
they didn't sack Mahomes in that game because of that stupid field.
Yeah, because the turf. Did you hear about the turf guy that did the field? Yeah,
I'm sure.
He was a Kansas City homer.
Of course he was.
Yeah, what was he? The Sod Father is what his nickname was. Yeah, you can read all about it. His name is the Sod Father.
I just think they're going to get to Mahomes in this game. I think that front line is going to get to him. And in the end, if the Chiefs, Pacheco's really key to this game. They got to run the football, and if they can't run the football.
Jared McKinnon's going to be the key because it's going to be the dump off machine. He's going to have probably 6 to 10 catches in this game.
Oh, you like the over prop?
I would take him in all your props.
2.5 catches.
Yeah, I would take him in all your props because whenever they see pressure packages, he's the one who usually comes in to catch those. Yeah,
number one.
Yep, and same with Kelsey since they don't have a wide receiver. So
yeah. All right, well, let's go over my top 5 picks, which probably ever changing now. But I do like Cleveland at the pick. in that game against Pittsburgh. I like Minnesota plus 2.5, as I mentioned, the Sunday night game. Detroit minus 8 against the Bears. I know you heard that, Bears fans. I am a Bear fan, but I'm being real. And then the Giants plus 8.5. That's a little risky. And the Chargers minus 3. So kind of a very, very group of picks there. What about you?
I can't believe you feel comfortable betting on the Giants but don't like the Bears. So you feel more comfortable betting on the Giants than you do betting on the Bears. That's terrible.
Absolutely.
That's
no question. Detroit's a way better team than
that's
Washington.
A tough pill to swallow. But anyway, I'm gonna ride with San Fran this week at minus 11.5. I'm taking the Redbirds with the Cardinals at plus 5.
That's right.
We're taking the Beaver Nation pick of the week at the Rams minus 1. And then we're going with the Rams are getting plus 1. So forgive me, I have that written down wrong. And then we're going with Jacksonville at minus 7.
All right, I like it. Plus 7, Jags.
Plus 7.
So we don't have a lot of we're not really against each other in any of these picks this week. It feels weird.
Yeah. No,
you should have put the Bears in there.
Yeah, well, I just, it was the 5th pick. It was number 5 on the list. So I only get 4.
You get 4. That's why you split most of the time. All right, so this weekend, as I mentioned, driving to Kansas City tomorrow. Clear the roads, everybody. Here I come. I haven't been to Kansas City since, God knows, I think it's like the year 2000 or something. So
you and your Prius.
Yeah, it's a fusion.
Oh, sorry.
You're going to the game tonight. You're going to the Hawks game.
Yeah, the Blackhawks game.
You're not actually going to watch the Hawks. You're watching somebody else.
Yeah, no Lightning are in town.
No Lightning.
So
how are you a Tampa Bay Lightning fan?
We're going to go see the boys.
But you're a Miami Dolphins fan. Right, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, well, I got into the fandom of hockey when I was in college. So that was just kind of the cool team that.
Oh, I see. It has nothing where you went to college. They just were good at that time.
Yeah, well, they were just I like the logo.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Lightning Bolt. Yeah, why not? So
just like the Chargers.
I think it was like 2012 or 2013 that I technically got into hockey.
Nice.
That was like actually. I mean, I watched highlights on SportsCenter like any other person growing up as a kid. So, but I actually learn the rules and learn what we're actually doing here.
You skate?
Oh God, no!
Oh, well, we're
going
skating this winter.
I can stay on my feet, but as far as
I'm not asking you to be a professional skater.
Yeah, I would love to be able to play. That'd be so much fun. So, but no, we're doing that tonight, and then Sunday we have Friendsgiving.
Yes.
So, and then next week I'll be traveling to Michigan and Ohio for Thanksgiving.
Okay. When are you leaving for that?
Monday night, probably.
Oh, okay. So we do remote.
Yeah, we'll probably do a little. Yeah, so next week we'll be doing a remote session. Trying to think. Oh, we have Thursday football. That's right.
Thursday football.
Thursday is Thanksgiving Turkey Day football.
And there's actually a Friday game next week. Baltimore plays on Friday.
Yeah, do the Dolphins play on Black Friday? I can't remember.
I thought they play. If we only had some information to tell us what this is. live streaming. The Dolphins are playing the Jets. Oh, my bad. Dolphins playing the Jets, not the Rams. So you've got the Pack and Lions against each other, Commanders against the Cowboys, 49ers, Seahawks, and then Dolphins, Jets.
Nice. There it is.
So the only problem with that is, with us, we have to, if we're not going to we lose 4 games if we don't want to pick any of those teams, by the deadline. So, but anyway, we'll figure out when we're going to tape next week, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday morning, whenever you want to, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it together.
I'm going to be resting.
Yeah, we got to get you nice and rested. I want you playing hurt anymore.
Yeah.
We need to have our leader back.
We got to do it. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, follow me at Wegspool on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us at Side Action Pod on Twitter and Side Action Podcast on Instagram.
You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Instagram at Dalton Cooper. We are the Side Action Pod. Thanks for joining us. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram.
Wait a second. Luke Young, amazing boys. He finally joined.
Yeah,
we got in the what is it, the 100th minute or whatever we've been in here, the 66th minute.
Hour. Yeah.
Thanks for the shout out, Luke. We're about to sign off, pal. But anyway, good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Love you guys.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Side Action Podcast. We appreciate all of your listens, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you all again next week on Thursday for some more hot picks and side action. Side Action Podcast, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the show hosts or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this podcast, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. Individuals following the advice given on the podcast accept their own risk of losses from wagers made. As the Side Action Podcast, its owners, hosts, associates, or guests will not guarantee any advice given. The opinions and advice given on the Side Action Podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Intro and outro and transition music credits. Song titles Jerry 5 and District 4 by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.org. Licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0. creativecommons.org/licenses/by 3.0.